We are live on a Thursday evening, right before the big Friday games. Ruby Chehebar is the guest of the week. Ruby, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ruby, it's been a long time coming. Please speak loudly. Please speak clearly. I know you're very, very nervous making your national debut. Also, now that the month has, now that we're in June, we're on YMSL 1. We're on the main channel now, not YMSL 2 anymore. So you're going to have millions of people watching this interview. And I want to know, how much has your life changed since the throw heard around the world? A throw that eliminated a team on a double play. 9-2 right field to home plate to end a season. How has your life changed since that moment, Ruby?
I have two things to say. From that throw, how has my life changed? The first thing I'd like to say is it felt good to finally get a little bit of recognition. I think I'm a lot better than I was drafted this year.
Yes.
Obviously, can't get any worse. I know people didn't want me because they think I'm a head case, this, that. It's just passion and mistaking, my eagerness with passion.
Right.
And two, it really felt good to do it for Zach.
Wow.
Yeah,
Why
Zach,
versus Zach? Why?
Because he calls me a scrub, this, that. I know my worth in everything I do. We played football together. He knows I'm an athlete. He knows I can play sports. He knows I can shoot in basketball. Not like him, but to do it versus Zach, the guy who I always, that he's the top tier. That's the guy. If I could beat Zach one day, it'd be great. But and to get him out, it felt great.
You know what? Right now, Zach.
And not to mention Sam also. Sam Michon, always. Same guys.
Well, they'd rather be in your position right now than their position because they're home for the winter. That's it. They're done.
Yeah.
Their season is over. Okay. You spoke about your draft positioning. You plummeted this year in the draft. I'd say like a rock.
I did tell
in
some
water
guys.
Just went right down. And when you were watching the draft and you saw 8th round,
it hurt.
9th round, 10th round, 11th round, 12th round, people we never heard of, rookies we didn't even know who they were, taken before you. And you were basically, I think you were taking 95 or 96. You were taking 96 and then traded for the 95.
Correct.
If they don't make that trade, 95 for 96, they may be eliminated right now, which is hard to believe.
Crazy. It hurt big time. Not gonna get into names. Even in the 8th round names, I'm like, what are you picking here?
Right.
I could contribute way better than him. 8th round guys.
Yeah.
But I gotta stay humble.
But why do you think it happened?
So Zach, after year one, when he went away from me after year one, the year I had with Z-Pack, batted over 500.
You did?
Yeah.
Over 500?
Over 500.
Ruby, we can look up these stats. You're
Look
telling
up
me
these
you
stats.
batted over 500?
Over 500
for
or
Z-Pack?
500 on the number.
Unbelievable.
It was in minimal at-bats because sometimes I was playing field,
That's
sometimes
okay.
I was batting.
That's okay.
I didn't get as many
20
at-bats as
let's
this year.
say, or 25 at-bats.
Yeah.
500 is legitimate.
And short center. I manned up short center all year. Very few errors. One tough one in the World Series. It hurt us.
I remember in the World Series.
It was. I got confused off the bat. It looked like a grounder. It looked like a fly. And
Was that Logan Road?
No, it was right here.
It was here.
Right here on a Friday.
You guys also played on Logan that summer.
That was the Buka Grand Slam.
Yes. I love Logan. I wish they would let us play there.
Shout out to Buka. He's always been one of my favorite players, Little Buka.
Little Buka.
He's the future.
Marty Antony.
Can't believe his numbers.
These guys are the future. Of the league. And there's other ones also. There's other ones. Captains have to really get smarter. Stop drafting the same tired way that you always draft. No one saw last year what Marty was going to be. I don't know how nobody saw that. I mean, yeah, he didn't have the best stat year.
He exceeded that by a lot this year.
Yeah.
I was with him last year.
Yeah.
He was very solid.
But I'm on record saying last year, this kid's the future of the league. No one was able to recognize that.
Where did he go this year?
I don't know, 4th round, last pick of the 4th round.
That's a good. I wouldn't have picked him earlier than that.
He's better than he's the second round pick.
But last year I could name 39 guys better than him.
Guess what? Next year he's the 2nd round pick. Maybe higher.
He's playing like it, yeah.
Maybe higher. Who's better than him?
I was looking to see who's MVP candidate.
Who'd you
won't
find
jump.
as
I won't
MVP?
jump.
Who'd
I
you
won't
find?
jump.
Who'd you
Based
find?
on numbers, I saw Marty's numbers were ridiculous.
Marty.
But by seeing Michael Saban Solomon,
Saban.
I couldn't believe his numbers are all that it is.
Yeah.
It seems like he's on base every single.
Well,
at-bat.
on your team, he's on base every time.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah,
He
on
was
your
1,000
team,
just on what you gotta believe.
It is crazy what he's doing on You Gotta Believe.
1,000 on you gotta
It
believe.
is
900.
Utterly
On
ridiculous,
base.
and he came to a team that wasn't hitting at all. So he was the focus of that lineup. He put the pressure on himself. Michael Beta went down in inning 1 of that game. He was the trade, and he has carried that team offensively. He has changed that whole team. It's hard to believe because he's an older guy. He's an older player.
Yeah.
But he's up there. Jack Abadi obviously is up there, leads the league in absolutely everything.
Michael Saban is aging like fine wine.
Like a fine
That's-
wine. Like a
that's for
fine
you,
wine.
Mike.
And his beard looks it. He loves that gray in his beard. He's always
great.
going like
But-
this and
But
everything.
when I had that fly ball this game, thank God I had to redeem myself. So Ruby Shalou goes up to me before the game. He goes, "Right's been a little tough for me. You want to switch with me left for right?" I'm like, "You know what? I just want action." He tells me, and I noticed it. First AB, more balls are going to right. More balls are going to right. So I'm like, "Yeah, I just want action. Let's switch." But he didn't tell me, it's my first time playing right in my life, that a ball could curve off the bat. Maybe
Yes.
that's why it happened.
Right field
I had
is
no,
a curved ball. Unless
yeah.
it's a lefty pulling
And I
it.
think,
But the
I
right
think
is
that
slicing.
day hot. I went 3 for 3 versus Max, a home run away from the cycle.
Wow.
Yeah. Game 2, he stepped it up on me, struck me out looking one pitch. I couldn't believe it. Like, he's got real control.
Max is legit.
Max got real control. To have
Max
an
is
ace on your
legit.
team is vital.
Yeah.
We have the great equalizer in AB. And Max, you never want to face a Max. These guys are tier 1 all by themselves.
Okay, so last year you were on the green team, right? You were on Mocas?
What hurt just as much as getting drafted last was being sat in that game, that playoff game. I would rather them tell me we don't intend on playing you. I wouldn't have showed up.
What, the play-in game
Playoffs
on
that
Friday?
you don't have to play every player.
You against Cold-Blooded.
Against Chehebar.
Yes. You against Cold-Blooded on that field on a
Yes.
Friday. You see all of Swimming sitting on the right field
I was
line
rooting for them to lose.
with Jacob's dog, Mac. And
Yeah.
then you see you sitting with them at one point also.
Very embarrassing. It
But
hurt
you know what,
a lot.
Rook? I gotta put you to task for this because I've always told you, if you were drafted late or whatever, and this is the role they put you in, you gotta wait for your opportunity. This year you got an opportunity and you made the game-winning throw. That year you were like, bothering them and nagging to them and this and that, and then you're never gonna get an opportunity that way. This year, I believe you saw how many injuries your team had, and all of a sudden you got the opportunities, and now you ran with it yesterday.
I guess I'd say, yeah, Z-Pack was the strongest here by far, and then it's all about my morale. I guess I'm soft in that way. If you trust me, you put your trust in me, I won't let you down, type thing.
Yeah.
But when you don't trust me, I feel pressure.
Okay.
I guess, and I flop.
But a lot of captains at the draft they knew you were more talented than some of the players they were taking.
they stayed away.
But they didn't want to deal with you. They didn't want to deal with you. So is this payback to them? You could have gotten me and you could have had a real player?
Yeah.
Or is this a wake-up call to you that, you see you have talent. You see you could be a player. You're not a first-round pick, but you're a regular player like everybody else. If you could just, blend in better with your team and accept your role more and not make demands, the opportunities come up and you can shine.
Last thing, I always vocalize that I care more about playing the field
Okay.
than batting.
You like the field better
if
than
you
batting.
give me a full-time center field job with one at bat and sit the other, I'm tickled pink.
Okay. I don't think you're getting full-time center field, but maybe an outfield position. In other words,
I really think I could man that.
way you
I play football, Norm.
okay. That's
Just
great.
saying, I have a
get it.
radius. I have long strides. I could read a ball. I think you won't regret it.
But some of the
Next
best
year, I
players.
plan on signing up next year, even though I said I wasn't earlier.
Well, you actually quit
Because
this
now-
year after you were drafted.
Yeah, 98, and not knowing what to expect, I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah,
Right.
I quit. You didn't let me. No,
I said you could quit, but
I'm not getting a refund.
no. But I don't wait till after the draft to
No,
refund
I didn't want to
players.
lose that money.
Exactly. So now you stayed, and I'm happy you did, and I think you're happy you did.
Yeah.
This year, were you happy with your role, or were you complaining again?
Really mixed. I embraced my role after I was the 96th pick in draft. I said, okay, I'm taking the bare minimum. My focus is on batting 500,
Right.
and that's it. Whatever comes along the way, comes along the way. And things came.
On your team, they definitely came. I never saw
Yeah.
injuries like
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
on the team.
yeah.
By the way, if you're not a lefty, I don't know if you could make that throw that you ran towards the line to catch the ball.
I don't. I
You
think I'd
catch
still
it with
make
this
It was
hand.
shallow, Norman. It wasn't that
It was
hard.
very
You
shallow.
want to know something? I don't remember, but I really think that I took some off of it because I thought I might have airmailed it.
Right.
I think I took some off of it.
Well,
I
I
saw
gotta-
another angle of the video.
Yes.
And it looked like an awkward throw by me. It looked like I took some away at the very last second. And
Well, I asked you after the game. You didn't stay around for the interview to answer the
I'm
question.
sorry.
I asked you, did you run into the ball and then gun it home? And you said I was ready for it.
I was ready. Yeah,
You were
meaning,
ready.
meaning I knew a runner might take. Be
But you
ready for the
didn't.
runner.
But you didn't run into the ball. You caught it and then threw. And the fact that you're a lefty helps you make that throw because you caught
Agreed,
it going
from the
this
area.
way.
Yeah.
And you didn't airmail it. I like the tag. I would never say don't tag there because if you don't try to tag there, there's 2 outs, and you're asking the next guy batting 7th in a lineup to come through with a 2-out hit. I like the tag.
You're right.
Make the right fielder make the throw. How many times do we see that throw hit the fence on a fly or go 12 feet up the
Ike
line?
Mavora said it best yesterday when we were hitting around here. He said, "You send the runner halfway. Once you see it's low and on target, you got to run back. You
I
can
think
take
he's
your
wrong.
chances."
I think he's dead wrong.
It was low and on target. You could read that it was low and on target. Run your ass back.
Monday
No?
morning quarterback. I think that ball could skip under Lewis.
Of course.
It could be. It wasn't really bang bang, but it could be bang bang where the catcher doesn't get it.
Lewis made a hell of a
Lewis
hell of
made
play
a
on that
beautiful.
ball.
You made a perfect throw. Lewis made the play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you go back. I think you go in and you hope you're safe. And if that ball gets away or the runner kicks the ball, all of a sudden the next guy is scoring
game with
also.
momentum, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And you're
buy
right,
that.
Next guy could have scored.
In real time, I don't buy that. I don't buy that in real time because there was no doubt in anyone's mind when that ball went in the air that he was tagging and there was going to be a play. Like everyone that was there was like, "Holy cow, there's a throw coming up," for the game, for the season.
Norman, it wasn't that deep.
No.
I think what Ike Mavora said is the right.
If it was so shallow, why didn't you get it there on a fly?
Because I'm telling you, at the last minute, I think I took some off to not airmail it.
Okay. Okay, well there you go. Just the fact that you're taking some off, you're thinking
I don't
about
know. I don't
airmailing
know.
it.
At the end of the day,
I don't
know.
mind the send at all. I don't
I
agree
know.
with that. I don't
It could go
mind the
either way.
send. I think you force the backup outfielder to make the throw,
Yeah, they test
and
it.
the 60-year-old catcher to make the tag for the season on the line.
Yeah.
Of course, if there's no outs and then you catch it and it's 1 out, different story. But once you catch the ball, there's 2 outs.
Yeah.
The number 7 batter is on deck. There's no way in the world you don't run there. There's no way.
I hear you.
Okay, let's talk about the team. Okay, time is gone. No need to discuss them unless you have any thoughts about them. I mean, that team never got it together all year.
That's the team I dissed all year. That's the real truth. I thought there were holes on that team. I think that team could have used me more than any other team in the league.
Yeah, they did
I
have a
let
lot of
Zach
holes.
know. We have messages. We're not going to talk about mine and Zach's messages, but from the day of the draft, Mike, you boy.
Right.
Excuse my language.
Yes, please, Ruby. We're trying to get brought.
I'm sorry.
This is again on YMSL 1.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is not on YMSL cable or
I'm
on.
sorry.
Okay.
Field short center. I'm versatile. I just want to play the field. No,
Right.
I'm not sitting on my ass every 10 at bats. I
Gotcha.
got out. Oh, I got to wait 30 minutes for action. Like, it's hell.
I hear you. You know what? Michael Saban is DHing for the first time this year, at least half time. And he said he never realized how hard it really is. You got to sit, you got to wait, and then you just get up. But he's going with it. Let's talk about tomorrow's games then. I mean, you have 2 teams. You got to believe your squad. And the first team you'll be playing, possibly the only team you'll be playing, but we'll see how it goes, is To the Moon, Mo Haber. What's your scouting report on them?
I remember vaguely, I thought Mo Haber had a very strong draft early, and then it got a little fizzled out. Obviously,
Yes.
he made a trade. I think he won that trade. I think your brother Bob is a very underrated player in this league.
Yeah.
El Saka, a lot of power. He's an athlete. So I think he won that trade. Who was it? For Zolta and who else notable? 2, the second guy.
It was Al Zolta, Nathan Kushner, and Carlos Abadi.
And Abadi.
For Bub, El Saka, Jackie Eshko. Jackie Eshko's making every play for them also, by the way, on the infield.
Yeah.
It's funny, Eshko couldn't make a play on Cherokee's Tribe. He got traded, he's making every play. Bub and El Saka were batting 200 or 250 on Cherokee's Tribe. They got traded, they're carrying
New
their
life.
team.
Yeah, it's new life. It's nice. It could be nice.
What do you think of like a top player like Michael Cohen? Did you see the highlights from this week?
No, what do you do?
He tagged up from
I
second.
saw that he got tagged out late. We needed the hell out of that, right?
Yeah.
We needed that big time, that error.
Yeah.
That base running
Yeah,
error.
if
I did see.
In other words, if they win that game, you guys are eliminated.
Crazy.
You don't even play.
Crazy.
Your throw never happens.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, MC.
Do you? What do you think when you see a guy that's like a top 10 player do something like that?
You can't have. Listen, it happens. We do it. No matter how great you are, it could happen to anyone. You just gotta be aware. You gotta know what's at stake. You know, mental errors are what kills teams.
Yeah.
Kills
That's a
teams.
mental error, no?
Kills teams. Kills teams. A lead-off single that you try to stretch into a double, get out. You're a one-away, no man on. It's
Right.
hell. The worst thing you could do.
I mean, he was tagging up on a ball in between first and second. Now the guy catches the ball. There's 2 outs. Elliott Sacker's on deck. There's not much of a difference if you're on second or third. There is a difference, but not that much. And the guy caught the ball. He had to make a simple throw. You talk about an easy throw. This was a simple throw to get the final out. I mean, that's, to me, is unacceptable. I don't know if it's a mental error. I don't know if he thinks he's Superman. I don't know what, or he thinks the other team
trying to be a hero.
Right, like Edmund Dwight can't throw the ball 10 feet to get you out. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, that's the team you're playing.
Another guy I want to shout out. When we played threat level, Edmund Dweck did not get out on maybe, I don't think one time. Maybe
Not just
one
you.
time.
He hasn't gotten out
having
this
a
year. He's having a year.
Edmund Dweck having a year.
Edmund Dwight was an unbelievable pick. It's one of the reasons threat level Midnight is as good as they are. It's one of the reasons they won 11 out of 14 games and took first place going
We
away.
can't do anything, our team, with Ramel down and Michael Beta down. You can't honor anything.
Well,
team,
Ramel got replaced by Mo Mala and Michael Beta got replaced by Joe Chira. So you did something.
both out this week.
Well, if Joe
maybe not Joe.
Joe Chira's an injury, so if he's out, he could be replaced.
Oh, really?
Yes. If he's out, he could be replaced because it's still regular season.
He's gonna dog it out. I think.
Okay.
Because non-contact sport. If you tell the doc you feel fine, I feel like.
Yeah, he went to a doctor today, and it's up to him and his doctor. It's not up to us.
Yeah. But non-contact sport is what I'm trying to
Definitely
get across.
non-contact sport, but we've seen Saban tackle Eddie Michon. We've seen Jack Abadi
Arms extended.
dispose of somebody rounding first
I was
base.
that Saban.
Ruby, please with the language.
I'm sorry.
Ruby.
I'm sorry.
I love that you're comfortable and you don't feel that the camera's on you, but I'll remind you that it is.
Thank you. Yeah, I need to be reminded sometimes.
Okay, if you're fortunate enough to win, you play the Knights. What are the odds that there was a 6-person trade on one of your teams and you were not involved in it, being that you've been
I don't think I should be.
share of trades?
Sorry to cut you off, but I don't think I should be in a trade like that because I consider myself a value. You give me up, what do you get for that?
Right,
Practically nothing.
Yeah, but look at the players that went in that trade: Abe Cohen, Hank Shalom, Ruby Saka, Michael Saban, Abe J. Cohen. Like
the blueprints are in the names. That trade, the blueprints are in the names. You traded bats, maybe whether you want to call it slight edge or large edge. For us, we got the bats, and we definitely gave up the defense.
Look at the results of that trade if you're watching at home, because the offense on You Gotta Believe has maybe tripled or quadrupled since that trade, and the defense, the amount of runs the Knights give up, has improved drastically. That's what you call a win-win. If you guys win game one, I'm going to see the trade on one game to see who gets to the semifinals. Let me ask you, Aces and Kakambas, are you impressed by either team, both teams, neither?
After we beat the Kakambas, I mean, I'm talking with a full squad. I don't want to be so arrogant. We had Jordy's a star shortstop. Like, I thought we exposed them. We got them good the second game. They beat us game one. I was ready to drop 500 with these guys on a bet. They didn't take it. I went up to South House after game one because I knew they feel good. I knew we couldn't lose this game. Maybe not making the playoffs didn't sound like a reality.
Right.
I said, you guys want to bet 500 this game? South House goes accept. Mark goes, no, Ruby, get out of here. So, doesn't.
Right. Now, Ruby, I'll remind you that, while gambling is legal in all the states now and everything, players involved in the game should definitely not be gambling. That we're going to have to check that with our...
Okay.
On your own game, no less. We're going to have to check that with our, there's a Pete Rose clause.
If we want to get into halakha, it's not good to gamble with your fellow Jew, but I'm glad it didn't go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
no
glad.
more, not my style.
Not worth the 500
Not worth
for
it.
you
Not
anyway.
worth it.
Come on.
Not worth it.
Okay, Aces, Maxi Deed.
Ace. You have an ace. You have an ace. You have Eddie Richter's been playing great. I saw the numbers. I didn't see him so much versus us. I mean, maybe he got on once or twice. Again, it's versus an AB, so once or twice could be solid.
I think he did okay against you guys, if I recall. I think he had a bunch of hits there.
I mean, we beat them pretty good, and they only scored 4 runs on the day.
You're right. It was
You know, so
what was
how
it?
good could it have
11-2 and 3-1. They only scored 5 runs yesterday. Yeah, you're right. Navy pitched pretty good yesterday.
Surprised how much I know, right?
No, I know you know. You're always giving me stats. You're always giving me some information. Sometimes I've even used your stats in other broadcasts that you. Yeah, you're always good for something. You're always good for a nugget or whatever.
Who else is on the Aces? Nanu's got power. Two.
Aces are interesting.
One more back. Give me one more back. Mavora. Is there another?
Erwin Cohen.
Erwin.
They have Sam Loudon, Eddie Richter, Ike Mavora.
And that kid Joko who's packs a punch.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Aces. I would say they have the fewest extra base hits in the league. They hit a ton of singles.
Small ball?
Eddie Richter's been hurt, so even though he's hit the gap a ton of times, he's had to stop at first base. I think he's doing a lot better now, but in the beginning of the year, when he was getting on base every single time, when he was 14 for 16 or something, he had a lot of singles that he had to draw at the first. Toot Matu Greenstein Jr. the fifth is a notorious singles hitter. He's a phenomenal hitter, but you don't see him getting doubles and triples ever. I haven't seen that much from Nanu this year in terms of extra base hits. Mavor is a singles guy now because he's up there. So they score runs by stringing a few hits together. That's the book on the Aces, really. What do you think of Naby as a captain?
I think you don't really want to distract a guy like that. Like, I know because I was in his ear once or twice or 3 times or 5 times.
Right.
And I hate to distract him at all. Let him do his thing.
In other words, during the game, he's pitching a game, and you're
I don't want
talking
to talk
to him
about where am I this game, maybe. What's your plan for me? I like transparency. I like to know in advance what's expected of me today.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to bother that guy. The truth, the pitcher, last guy wanted. That's my answer.
Right. But how do you think he is with making the lineup?
He's been fine. Honestly.
In other words, you played for many different captains.
Okay, I'm going to say it. There were times where I was eager to give my take on the lineup. Like, Teddy Braha was batting 10 all year. A guy like that who's, he's played this game before. He's had good averages. He's beaten out. I want him leading off for my team. And once we made that transition, we did a little better.
When did you change that? I saw that in the playing game.
He said to me, Rube, he hasn't hit the ball all year. We can't put him 1. That's what he told me. But then he had a good game, and we put him 1, and he busts out balls. He's a great guy to have.
Yeah, he's got a ton of speed.
He'll make it hard in the infield.
Yeah, with a lineup like yours, you got to extend the lineup as much as you can. So if you could sneak another guy in early, I think it could only help you.
But I honestly think Lewis ran it this year. I don't know why. I feel like Lewis took charge of making the lineup, and I don't think Navy worried himself that much.
Okay, you played for Mocas, you played for Navy, you played for Z. I'm missing a year.
I'll tell you who it is.
Why?
Did not enjoy it.
Oh.
He went 0-12 last year with Rough and Rowdy.
Yeah, Sonny.
Correct.
On the Maccabees.
Yes.
Okay, so you were on Z-Pack, the Maccabees, the Ones Who Knock, and Now You Gotta Believe. Sonny Shalom, Mocas, Navy, and Z. Who's the best captain you've played for?
Z. It's gotta be Z.
Z.
It's gotta be Z. Yeah. It's gotta be Z. Passionate like me. He'll be transparent. I think he'll always be transparent with me. And yeah, he knows the game. He's just an extra oomph for a team. He's a little flame, a little ignition. He makes the thing go, makes it turn, he makes it swim, makes it, the waves and the turns.
Okay, are you ready to make some predictions on your games tomorrow? What are you thinking tomorrow? You versus To The Moon.
We said MVP, right? We spoke about MVP. Give me the candidates. So I saw Jacobati leading in batting average before we do predictions.
Okay.
If I had to do like a 5-person MVP, I'd say Jacobati. Help me out on this. Jacobati, Michael Saban, Marty Anteby, based on what I saw. Who did I see? What's Joe Greenberg up to?
Unbelievable season.
He's got the best team.
Unbelievable season.
So Joe Greenberg.
He's leading off, so he doesn't have a ton of RBIs, but he's on base as good as anybody. His center field is excellent.
Right.
except the week he was injured and he couldn't move with the Zolta, with Jay-Z
Farkas
coming
batting
in.
average over 500.
Farkas hitting well, yes. And Farka, everything's a double. Once he gets a base hit, he's always rounding first, going to second.
I gave you 4.
Yeah. I
Who's
mean,
5?
you're right on it. And then Ruby Chehebar. I mean, you're right. You're right on it. The ballot will be going out very, very shortly, by the way, because the regular
Michael Saban
season
has my
ballot.
vote. I can't vote for my teammate, but he's got my vote.
Okay.
He carried. He really carried.
He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He changed the team, that's for sure.
Yep.
We got to see if you guys get in. Will you guys get in? Are you going to beat To the Moon tomorrow? And don't just pick your team because it's your team. Give us an honest analysis. You versus To the Moon. What are you afraid of? What do you have advantage? What do you have disadvantage?
Okay. This is a 12-person team.
Yes.
It's going to take every ounce out of everyone.
Okay.
So whoever has the best percentage of the 12 contributing, I think is going to win.
Okay.
It's not a one-man show, baseball, softball. They have Ralph Hannon, they have MC and Shalu at the top, and then they got Juber, Bub, Elsaka.
That's the top
Notable,
5.
notable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't miss any. Okay.
No, that's their top 5. Then they go Mo Haber, Jackie
Yeah,
Eschko,
yeah.
and then a combo of Pinney, Esses, and Hannon.
Yeah.
They have a good lineup, by the way.
Ralph hits too. You could.
There's no automatic outs there. That's a very good lineup.
Yeah, I think they're I think they're a strong team. I think we're gonna have to be present in game 1 from the very beginning. Win from the very beginning, from the first inning. We got to get out on top. I'm not going to predict us to lose, Norman. I see the momentum we took. I see the love for each other after this week. The chat's on fire. So I'm definitely not going to predict us to lose. And they're the opposite. They just lost to.
Yes, I am super impressed by DR reinventing himself again. I mean,
He's my favorite. He's my favorite human in the whole
and
league.
he did wake up and say, "Hi, this year I'm going to play third base." You
Always
know,
talking me up.
he was
My
put in that
favorite guy.
position. Go play third base. Go
been
get us
great
some
there.
clutch hits, and he shows up and he does
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know,
He's versatile. You can put him anywhere.
and he's so clutch. He came up with a bunch of clutch
Yup,
hits for
yup.
you in that game.
In time,
a couple of line drives. And I'm sort of impressed by the way H is hitting also.
Yeah,
H
H
in the
stepping
last
up.
couple of weeks came around. In the beginning, I didn't see much from
We
him.
were
But
saying it.
Yeah.
Once he knew we needed him,
yeah,
he turns the switch on.
Yeah.
He played shortstop very well this year.
yeah.
Very well this year. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And he's been batting much better. And Ruby Shalu's been batting much better as of late.
Here's the
last
thing with
week
the-
he was probably our best bat, most consistent bat last week.
Here's the thing with the Moon. They got swept by TLM, but so did almost everybody. And they should have, more than anybody, they should have won at least one game, possibly both. I don't think Threat Level Midnight wants to face them again. I really don't. I think that To the Moon played Threat Level Midnight and gave the games away with stupidity and nonsense. Running, tagging from second to third, and Michael Cohen, unacceptable. Also, you go up 5-0 in game 2. Ralph Hannon can't give up a leadoff home run to make it 5-1, and then to walk people and make it 5-2, and this and that. Can't happen. But you know what? They fought. They battled. Mo Haber could have scored to win the game, but Steven Shalu sent him when he should not have. They gave away the game. I'm telling you, they should have won
I
that
believe
game.
you. I
So-
said it like you from the beginning of the year. Threat Level Midnight, I think, was my favorite team. But
Yeah.
that was, as much as I
A masterful
don't
draft.
die for the guy,
Yeah.
he's a great player, John Eliezer. That's
Yeah.
a big loss.
Big
I don't,
loss.
I don't know if Gabra could fill his shoes.
Big loss,
Love
but
Gabra.
Gabra,
Gabra, he's the man. He's
no,
a
he-
better head. I'd rather play with Gabra and take my chances. That's the
Right,
truth.
right. Okay,
But
and-
John's a great softball
And
player.
he looked damn good. He looked damn good. But I really think To the Moon, despite the crushing loss, and it was a crusher because they could have had the 4 seed, by the way,
Yeah,
without
they
any
were
playing games.
distraught when I went up to
They
that
were
field.
distraught. After a day or two, they sort of realized they played pretty good. They gave the games away. They got so lucky that you guys lost the second game, that Pine lost the game to Cherokee, that they're still suddenly alive. They have confidence. I think they took a moral victory out of that sweep. I think they're actually feeling good about themselves, and I think they're going to beat Maybe and Ruby Chehebar in game 1. I really do. But now we have...
I think you and the rest of the league think that too.
Do you?
I do.
Is that the sentiment
I
around
do.
the league?
Yeah, I believe
I have
it.
to check the Instagram poll. I put up a poll today. To
Did
see.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I put it up late today. Now my next question was the next
one.
game. The winner of game 1, you or To the Moon versus the Knights who are sitting there and waiting.
If it's us, I say us. And if it's them, I say Knights.
Wow, and that's going to be
Because
split. Yeah, why?
Because I like the Knights roster. They are top heavy. They got Joe Eshko,
Yes.
David Farka, Abe J, who, if he steps up, that's a power three.
Abe
That's a
J
big
stepped
three.
up last week. He played great.
Because when I played with Abe J, he's been unbelievable. He carried. He was a one-man show on Maccabees.
Yes.
One-man show.
He was great on the Maccabees. But
And the plays he could make with his arm,
yeah.
not normal. My favorite
By
guy
the
to
way,
watch in the outfield.
He threw a strike home to Eddie Turner a couple
this
of
week?
weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago on a play that they lost. The Knights got swept by To the Moon on Fireman's East 2 weeks ago. He threw a strike to end the game. It could have been very similar to your thing. And Eddie Turner didn't field the ball, and 2 runs scored, and they lost the game, and they got swept. He's a great. I mean, he's in right field is phenomenal. He's a center fielder on any team.
Best outfielder. He's playing right there.
He's playing right.
That's
Farka, and then Marty.
Farka,
Farka,
he's outfield. But
it's crazy.
Jay gets to pick where he wants to be in my eyes. There's nobody on that team. Marty's made some spectacular plays.
Right.
Actually. But Abe J dictates where he wants to play. If he loves center field and that's where he plays, I would not take Abe J away.
But how can he get traded to a team and then move Farka, who's...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
Optimal
sorry.
lineup.
Fine.
Optimal lineup.
Now let me ask you this. Advantage to the team
Who
like
else
the
is on
Knights,
that team? Did I miss anyone in the big three? Is Eshko?
Henry Shalom on the infield.
Beautiful hitter.
David D.C. Cohen, third base.
Great fielder.
And-
one of the best.
And when you played with him, he's half the
Maccabees,
fielder
he was-
than he is
Yeah.
now. He's got better and better and better.
Yeah. Third base is a hard position to man. I want to shout out DC. I want to shout out Nathan Batesh. Who else plays third? Henry Shalom manned it up when he was on our team.
How about Charles Saka, Cherokee's tribe?
Charles Saka.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
This is
he
his
can
best
make
year, I
plays too.
think. There's
hard
a lot of
position.
good. There's so much talent in the league. I got to tell you. But they do have third base, shortstop.
And at the
is
same
there.
time, there's
and
room for new young talent.
And dude,
is
Ruby
what I would
Saka.
like to say.
Ruby Saka, short centers there also.
Good field. Bats. I'm talking bats
You're talking
for
bats.
Knights.
Okay. And they had Eddie Turner, who went 7 for 7
One
once
game,
upon a
okay.
time. Yes, 1 week he caught. I
So
don't
we
know what
didn't
he
miss
caught.
anyone.
No, you didn't miss anyone. They have Leo on the bump.
Yeah. Ooh. That's the sweet spot. Leo. I like to face Leo. That's
It's an advantage to a team like the Knights that are going to watch this game. You guys are going to beat the crap out of each other for 7 innings. It's going to be a long game, mound visits, everything. And they get to sit and wait. Is that an advantage for them? Or do they walk on and face a team that's on, whichever team they face,
I don't know how to answer
just
that.
won a one-run game,
don't know how to
one
answer
game
that.
play in, they're going to go
It
flying.
could go either way. I don't know how to
Advantage
answer
who?
that. The team with momentum, I would think.
I
but-
agree. I
but-
agree.
But at the end of the day, it's the lineup. It's the personnel.
Yeah.
The personnel that wants to show up and step up is going to win the game.
I agree. But it's very hard for the team with momentum to go from facing Naby
In a
or
one
Ralph
game,
Hannon.
Naby in a one game, you don't want to see Naby in a win
Right.
or lose game.
It's just very hard that you're facing Naby in one game, or you're facing Ralph Hannon in one game, and then 10 minutes later you're facing a completely different pitcher in Leo. Although you just did it, you faced Maxi Deed, and then an hour later you came over here and you faced Jeffrey Saka. It's a tough thing to face 2 different pitchers. Okay, so we lost 2 teams on Sunday. We're going to lose 2 more tomorrow. Who are you picking in game 2? You're picking only the Knights if they don't face you, and you if you... Okay.
Yeah, I love my guys right now. That's the truth. I really love my guys.
Right. The Knights are hot. They were 5 and
It's the
7.
chat. The chat just makes you think we're gonna win.
Yeah?
We believe. We really all
You
believe.
gotta believe.
We know it's not a one-man show. God willing.
Right.
God
Okay.
willing. It's all up to Hashem.
It's all up to Hashem for sure.
This is a tough sport. You can't really control it all that much.
That's the beauty of softball.
Yeah.
And baseball.
It's anyone's game.
First of all, you don't know who's going to be up for the game. It could be second and third, 2 outs in the 7th inning, down by 1. You could have your best player up, or you could have your worst player up. It's not up to you. You know, you can't say, I'm giving the ball to Jordan, I'm giving the ball to LeBron. You can't say that. Whoever's up is up.
Exactly.
Second of all, you cannot control where the ball is going to be hit. You want to hide a guy in catcher, you want to hide a guy in left field, right field, short center. If that ball goes to that guy, he's got to make the play. So when the ball comes to you, Nate couldn't go field that ball. You know, you had to field the ball, and that's why this game is the best. That's why it's the
You don't
ultimate
know.
team
You don't
game.
know what my team did this past Sunday.
What?
First of all, Sal Dweck. I wasn't his biggest advocate all year. I thought I could have manned up second base better, but this guy, this week, was locked in.
Yeah.
locked in.
He didn't
Made
have a
every
gr-
play in the field,
Yeah.
and his bat was sharp.
His bat is good. He hits the ball
His
hard,
bat
even
was
if he
sharp.
doesn't
He's
get a ton of
practicing
hits.
every once a week. He goes to the cages by himself. He invites the whole team, but I
Yeah.
think he ends up by himself.
Yeah.
I meant to go once or twice.
I saw him playing for Philly that year, and I love the way he hits hard. Even if he
Hits
doesn't
hard.
always get the hits, I like people that hit the ball hard because you hit the ball hard and low, and you're going to get base hits in this league.
Yep.
How was he at second throughout the year, though? Was he great at second all year? I don't think he had a great
No.
year defensively. I
No.
think this
That's
week
why
he
I was
stepped it
saying
up.
I want to get in. I want
Right.
to get in.
Right.
Saul, I'm confessing I wanted to play.
Prediction.
It's not my favorite spot.
Prediction. Aces, Kakambas, 3-game series. Go for it.
Abe Cohen pitcher, Mark Braha, Jacobati. A couple other guys. Where's Abe Haber?
Abe Haber's
Right
in
level?
right field for the
Is he on-
Kakambas.
oh, he's on
Kakambas.
Kakambas?
Their outfield is Jake DeWeck in center.
And Jake Dweck on Kakambas?
Yes.
I think, wow, they got the ace, but
DK in
Kakambas,
left.
I like lineup better.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kakambas.
You go on Kakambas.
It's a 3-game
Jacobati.
series.
3-game series. Best 2 out of 3.
Maxi Deed's a pitcher. I'm going to say going to 3.
Okay.
Kakambas in 3.
Kakambas in 3. So you think Maxi D is going to lose game 3
Max
Friday?
is a tremendous competitor. I think he'll will his team as much as he can, but I think Kakambas lineup's a little stronger.
I'm going to
I-
agree with you. I like the Kakambas in 3 as well. I like the Kakambas in 3. I just feel this is Jacobati's chance to win a championship right now. I really do.
I don't see them winning the championship.
You know, AB pitcher Cohen is...
Timeout. So if they were to win that series, I like threat level a lot. Like you did from the beginning of the year. I think they got a deep team. I think Lee's, like when I played with Lee on the Maccabees, his batting average was whatever, regular, but the amount of hard outs he had and like tough play,
Yeah.
he should have been on 500 on the Maccabees.
I'm not going to predict the threat level series yet because they have 3 different teams they could play.
I hear
I
you.
gotta wait till those games are over before I make my prediction. I gotta
gotta be
see
honest.
what happens in those games to make my prediction. You know,
If I'm going to be honest, I like the Knights lineup. I really do. I could see them fighting hard. I could see them fighting hard.
I could make a case for you guys get into the World Series. Bottom line, you have AB. All he's got to do is get hot and get unhittable.
Exactly.
I could make a case for the Knights get into the World Series. They were 5-7. They just won 2 games against one of the best teams in the league. If they win this game, they'll be on fire,
Would they sweep?
on fire.
Would they sweep the Knights?
They swept the
Kakambas?
Kakambas.
So look at that. You
The
see that?
Kakambas only sweep of the year. So the Knights are feeling hot.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come on a Friday. This is Joe Eschko's 3rd straight year
Playing game.
playing in a 1-game playoff scheduled on a Friday.
The best
One of them got
was
rained
Lumber.
out.
Best
Lumber
one is
Kings
Lumber.
was
They went
phenomenal.
far, even after being 1-7.
Unbelievable.
They went far.
That
Semis
year
they
was
lost.
just the best. That year was just amazing.
Was that when I was on the Maccabees?
Yeah, you were on the Maccabees. That was an unbelievable season. And I could make a case for To the Moon. I could definitely make a case for To the Moon getting all the way to the World Series.
They have 2 of the best players in the league.
And then you look at Maxi Deed. He has a chance to win 3 out of 4, something crazy now.
Yeah.
And he's 2 games away from the World Series. You have the Kakambas and you have threat level. This is wide open. Wide open with 6 teams left. By the way, even going into this week, the only teams I could have made a case not to make the World Series were Cherokee's Tribe and Time. I did firmly believe they were the worst 2 teams in the league, and I think it showed.
Same here. I thought Time was the worst.
Yeah, they might have been
They
if
had
the season
holes.
went any
They had
longer.
holes. They had holes.
They just never gelled. Zach was not the Zach he was last year.
Sam's a better baseball player. Sam's the best baseball player I know.
Sam would be great if he played all season. If he signs up next year early and he dedicates himself to softball, he could be phenomenal because he
Yeah.
has the tools there. He's just a good
He's an
athlete.
athlete.
But there were a lot of guys that didn't step up this year for them, even though they had guys that overplayed, like Jigga. Aharon had a
Jigga
sick year.
had a great year.
Yeah. A lot of guys, really.
And when I played Time, Aaron Cohen made a bunch of plays with his arm.
He's phenomenal.
He's got a great arm.
He is phenomenal. Ruby, any parting words for our fans on YMSL 1?
I'm in the league next year. I expect to solidify a position. I hope to.
Let me
Center
ask you.
field.
There's no
be
minimum
a
playing
dream.
time in game 2 tomorrow, the 4-5 against the Knights. If you don't play, you're going to still be in the league? You're going to understand that you contributed anyway, or you're going to demand that you have to have some playing time?
I mean, I'm already been told that I'm on for tomorrow, and I don't see any reason why not.
Good.
But I'm dogging it out. It's over. Whatever it is,
That's
we
it.
made it this far.
I love it.
At this point,
Team
But
player.
The difference between this year and last year is that I wasn't told. I showed up, pumped. You're not playing. What the?
I love him.
You kidding me? And there's audience, there's people. You're gonna embarrass a person?
The
Let him know. Let him
personalities.
decide if he wants to pinch run. I'll let you know if I want to pinch run.
The personalities in this league are just utterly insane. Here we are, Ruby Chehebar, yet another one. You are part of this league, man. You should always be in.
God willing.
Embrace it, love it, and do your thing. And what a big
Ruby
play.
for center field next year. I got you. I promise I got you.
You made a play this Sunday that will be remembered, that will be replayed on Instagram for years and years to come. You ended a season on a throw out from right field. Unbelievable. Ruby, thanks a
God.
lot for joining us.
Thank you, Norman.
And we'll see everybody at the playoffs this weekend.
Let's see how we did. We're
Thank
gonna
you,
find out the
Ruby.
results.